The marketplace of Station Theta 7 thrummed with the chaotic energy of 1,000 species conducting their daily business. Holographic advertisements flickered in languages both ancient and modern, while the air recyclers struggled to manage the mingled scents of exotic foods and alien biology. Maris shouldered through the crowd, his worn military jacket a relic from conflicts most had forgotten. The human cargo hauler had seen worse stations than this, places where the air itself could kill you if the locals didn't first. He was just passing through, looking for fuel contracts and maybe a hot meal that wouldn't give him another round of xenobiological indigestion. That's when he heard it, a small trembling voice cutting through the marketplace din. "Please, I can't find my mother." Maris stopped. Around him, dozens of beings, Kolvaxians with their crystalline exoskeletons, floating ethereals, hulking Grendari merchants, all continued past without pausing. The voice came again, more desperate. "Someone? Anyone? I can't see. I can't find her." He turned and spotted her, a small Valesian girl no more than 6 cycles old by his estimation. Her species was known for their luminescent skin that shifted colors with emotion, but hers flickered erratically between pale blues and panicked yellows. Most notably, the delicate eye stalks characteristic of her people hung limp and undeveloped. She was blind. The child stood near a merchant stall, her small hands outstretched, fingers trembling as she tried to navigate by touch alone. Passers-by gave her wide berth, some actively avoiding her path. Maris felt something tighten in his chest, an old, familiar anger at the universe's casual cruelty. He approached slowly, kneeling to her level. "Hey there, little one. My name is Maris. Can you tell me your name?" The girl's head turned toward his voice, her useless eye stalks drooping. "Eile," she whispered. "I'm Eile. I was with my mother at the medicinal stall, but I wandered, and now everything sounds the same, and I can't." Her voice broke, and Maris watched her skin pulse with frightened orange hues. "It's okay, Eile. I'm going to help you find her." He glanced around the marketplace. A Kolvaxian merchant nearby deliberately looked away when their eyes met. A Grendari security officer saw the situation and kept walking. It wasn't that aliens were inherently cruel, Maris had learned. Many species simply operated on different social frameworks. The Kolvaxians believed in non-interference with natural selection. The Grendari considered kin responsibility absolute. If the child was lost, it was the parent's failure, not the community's problem. The ethereals existed on such a different temporal perception that they might not even register the urgency. But humans? Humans had a strange defect in their evolutionary programming. They helped, even when it was inconvenient, even when it made no logical sense. "Eile, I'm going to pick you up, okay? I'll be your eyes." Maris gently lifted the small alien. She weighed almost nothing, her body adapted for a lower gravity world. "You're warm," Eile said, surprised. "And you smell like rust and something sweet." "That's called coffee," Maris said with a slight smile. "Human thing. Now, can you remember anything about where you were? Any sounds or smells?" Eile's skin flickered thoughtfully. There were chimes, musical chimes, and something that smelled like harava root. Maris began moving through the crowd with purpose. "Hold on tight, kid." He navigated the chaotic marketplace, his soldier's training kicking in. Pattern recognition, environmental assessment. He filtered through the sensory chaos, listening for chimes, sniffing for the distinctive smell of harava root, a Valesian medicinal herb. "Why are you helping me?" Eile asked suddenly. The others, they couldn't see me. Or they didn't want to. Maris felt that tightness in his chest again. "Where I come from, we have a saying. It takes a village to raise a child. Means we look out for each other's kids. All of them. Even someone else's species. Especially then." He heard them before he saw them. Soft crystalline chimes from a medicinal stall. The scent of harava root grew stronger. Behind the counter, a Valesian woman was frantically speaking to a disinterested station clerk, her skin flashing desperate reds and purples. "Mom!" Eile's skin suddenly blazed brilliant gold. "That's my mom's voice." "Hey!" Maris called out. "I think I have someone who belongs to you." The Valesian woman spun around and her luminescence exploded into colors Maris didn't know existed. She rushed forward, taking Eile from his arms, tears streaming down her face. A remarkably human gesture, he noted. "Oh, my little light. I thought... She held her daughter close, then looked up at Maris with eyes full of gratitude. You're human. It wasn't a question. How did you know? Maris asked. Because only a human would stop, she said simply. The other species have their logics, their frameworks, their reasons. But humans, she smiled through her tears, humans have something else. Something we've studied but never quite understood. Empathy that crosses every boundary. Maris shrugged, embarrassed. Just seemed like the right thing to do. The Valesian mother reached out and touched his hand. In my culture, you've just created a life debt. If you ever need anything at all, you need only ask. Not necessary, ma'am, just maybe keep a closer eye on her. He ruffled Eileen's hair-equivalent appendage gently. As he turned to leave, Eileen called out, Maris, will I see you again? He paused, looking back at the blind child whose skin now glowed with peaceful blues. You never know, kid. Universe is a small place sometimes. Walking away through the marketplace, Maris allowed himself a small smile. Humans might not be the strongest, the smartest, or the most technologically advanced species in the galaxy, but they'd be damned if they'd walk past a lost child. That had to count for something. The end.